Hey, what's up, guys? I just kind of wanted to come on here and give a little bit of an intro to this video. This is a section from the Diva Tyler episode, and I just kind of wanted to set the stage because this is probably one of the most important things. If you haven't listened to everything we put out, maybe you've listened to everything we've put out. This one you want to listen to. It's crucial. It is some of the most important steps if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to start your own business, or maybe you're just, wanting to live your life better. You have to believe in yourself. You have to stop letting other people put you in boxes and troll you. And you just have to ignore those people because they're actually just miserable themselves. And you don't have to listen to the boxes. You're too this, you're too that. The seeds that are our thoughts, we can't control them entering our minds, but we can control which ones we dwell on. And it's so crucial. And our thoughts mixed with some action become reality. And that's what we talk about with Diva. I'm telling you, if you really want to groove, you gotta make a move. Director thought of you. And sometimes I think that self-talk in our head, I always say thoughts, they're sometimes we've got bad thoughts that enter our head. It's our responsibility to choose to keep them or not. I always call our thoughts our seeds, and it's up. We can't stop those seeds from popping in our heads, but we are completely in control of which seeds we plant.
Yes.
And so if you have a bad thought, an evil thought, that one you chuck. That's a bad seed. But the good ones is what you keep and hang on to, and you plant those. And I think what happens to us is we start planting these seeds of, she doesn't like me, she thinks this, she says this about me, and we build up this image and this character in our head that doesn't even exist.
Exactly.
and then we let that manipulate the situation, and it's total bull.
And what was the old saying? Is like I look for the monster. I look for the monster, and then I found the monster was me, or something like that. It's like we create these phantoms, and it's based on fear of previous experience,
Right.
and learning to release it. Just to release it makes a difference. It's like, okay, well, if that happened before, I see that the possibility can happen, but I'm going to take a different step. I'm going to take a different attitude. And so I have to toss away those things about I can't, because there's no such thing as I can't. Like they say, I'll try. Even with I'll try, they say if you try to pick up a pencil, you can never do it. You either do it or you don't do it. And so just absolutely going beyond the words in your head, and just you can add your own words. You can take them away. You can release those and say, but I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to give it my best.
Yep. And sometimes it's going against what feels good. Sometimes just because something feels right, or let's say it feels wrong, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not what you should do. And that's all goes into that same stay out, get out of your comfort zone. I think people just are so protected and rooted in like, oh, I'm not going to say that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And this doesn't feel right. And I'm uncomfortable. And we stay outside of those zones as much as we can. And I think that's, if we could just open up more to those things, like just how much more opportunity will just pop.
We can embrace the discomfort.
Absolutely. And it's what you tell yourself, because I do believe that thoughts become things. I know that everything that has been created started with a thought in your head.
Yep.
And so you can create the boogeyman, or you can create the angel. It's just what you decide to focus on and make real in your own head. You know, if the Wright brothers ever gave up and never thought that it was possible to fly this plane, to make
Mm,
this plane and fly this plane, then we might not be having flight right now
right.
until someone else, or the light bulb, or all of these things were first a thought in someone's head, and they followed through with it, even though they were being told this is ridiculous,
Yeah.
this is dumb, this is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Life experience shows that impossible can be possible.
Right. Man, that's awesome. I cannot agree more. I
I
think
think some of
that's
us are actually drawn to, like, if you tell me it can't be done, I'm going to prove to you that it can be. You know?
Exactly,
right.
exactly. Who can't speak Haitian Creole? Riley, what comes to my mind right now is what I wanted to say about hesitancy. Sometimes the things in our head, subconscious mind remembers all, everything. And what it seeks to do is protect you from previous pain or
Mm-hmm.
disappointments. And so if you got on the skates and you fell down the first time, and then you go and try to say, you know what happened the last time? And you go, yeah, I did. I fell. I scarred myself up. It was really awful. Maybe I shouldn't do that. You know, but
mm-hmm.
conscious mind is is where that magic begins too. You can the subconscious mind is trying to save you from previous, but that's in the past. You have to set a new path each and every time. When you get up in the morning, that's a new path. What am I going to do today to bring me closer to my goal? What
Mm-hmm.
can I do today to bring me closer to my goal?
Yeah. That is awesome, man. This is like, I think, I think, I think she should just be part of the Make a Move podcast because, like, there you go. She's got it.
Thank you. I tell you a little secret that I was going to add, and it it's more about the make the move than it is about movies. I learned something a long while back, and it's called uh, a goal mapping. Goal mapping. And so when you were in school, you were taught to write your goals down, and that's from the left brain side. With goal mapping, you created where you use both the left brain hemisphere and the right brain hemisphere. The left brain is going to be that logical thinking, one straight line, linear, what have you. And
Uh-huh.
then the right brain is the artistic, creative side. So what I did is I started my goal, and it was a diagram that looked like boxes that said, what is your main goal? And I put my main goal, and then it had two boxes on each side that said, what's your sub goal? What do you need to accomplish in order to make this main goal happen? And when you write that, and then you say, you put on there, well, what's my timeline? You actually set it in motion so that you can actually look at it and say, at this particular time, I want to be able to do this. And I want to put on here, why do I want to do it? Who do I know can help me with this? And that where that networking comes in also.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that when I had an opportunity to go to Peru. This was a few years back, to go to Peru because I'd heard about some children that had been abused and were in this orphanage and what have you. And mind you now, I was not fluent. I did not speak fluent Spanish. And my daughter and I said, I'm going to Peru. I'm going to work with these kids. I'm going to help these kids. My daughter goes, it's the same daughter said, Mama, you speak to everybody, okay? She said, Mama, how are you going to go and teach the kids and you don't speak Spanish? And I was like, well, I said, you know what I'll do? I'll start with the language of love, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so I created this whole diagram of me going to Peru. I did the left brain side with the boxes, and then I came on the other side, and there you had to draw out your vision. And I drew out my vision of me standing there with the children. I draw stick people, the children standing around me, and I drew a rainbow overhead. And I'm telling you this because I visited it every day. It was like I did a fifth dream workshop where I would just revisit it. I would cut out pictures. I would look, I said, oh, going to Peru, I would do dances. I would look at the terrain. I said, oh, I got to get these shoes. I'm going to need these type of shoes. I had no idea how I was going to get to Peru still. It's not like I had the money or anything, but I knew I was going, and I kept
mm-hmm.
on with it. And so what happened as a result of that, is that I did go to Peru. I decided to do. I said, you know what I'm going to do. I've been raising funds for the Cancer Society, what have you. Maybe I'll go to the same people that supported me and see if they want to support me in doing this. The first person I went to and I told her what I was doing, she said, well, Diva, I will write you a check for how much ever you need to make this happen. It blew my wig back. But I knew that I was going. I just knew that I was going. And when I got there, the first day I got there to the orphanage, which was called Mozart Runa, I'm sitting there talking to the director, and the volunteer coordinator is looking across. She says, Diva, look up. It's a rainbow over your head. And I got up and stood. It was a rainbow. I drew a rainbow over my picture with these little kids, these stick people. And you cannot tell me that you can't put that thought here and it lands out into the real world. You can make things happen just by believing in it. Everything you've been taught is that ask and believe and you should receive. Focus on that.
Yep. One of my favorite verses is the power of life and death is in the tongue.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely there's something to be said for, you know, thinking positively and like believing in and having faith that you can do something. Man, you'll turn your life around.
Yeah.
Hey, Riley here. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Make a Move podcast. For more content, check us out on all major social media platforms and makeamovepodcast.com. Until next time, get off your butt